I definitely think a lot of people are sleeping on this category of cocktails, and it's the flip. So a flip being spirit, whole egg, and sweetener, whilst a nog is spirit, whole egg, sweetener, and cream. So they're very similar, but I feel like the nog has stolen the show. I think the flip needs a little bit more love, a little bit more attention. It's incredibly simple. It's only the 3 ingredients. It's got a lot of versatility and you can play with it, but it is more of a fall, wintry, or Christmas drink because it is a creamy cocktail. When I say creamy, the creaminess just comes from the egg. It's a rich cocktail. You get the richness from the egg yolk. Now, before I get started, every single time I use raw egg in a cocktail, people are like, no, you can't do that, it's disgusting. And rightfully so. I understand that a lot of people don't have access to quality, fresh eggs. And for those people, it is very perplexing to make a cocktail with raw egg. But if you have fresh eggs and if you have clean eggs, particularly on the shell on the outer, then you minimize, you don't eradicate, but you minimize your risk of getting salmonella poisoning, which is a good thing. I wouldn't try substituting the egg for a foamer, for a aquafaba or something like that. I mean, you can try, but I don't think it's gonna work. You need the viscosity, the texture, and the body, that richness from the egg yolk in this drink. Now, probably the most popular version of the flip is a sherry flip. So a dry style sherry with whole egg and sugar. So this one here was created by Adam Dewar. I sent him some of my bitters and this is one of the creations that he made. So he called it the flipping sherry. It's a sherry flip, but the addition of a rye whiskey and a little bit of coffee in there too. So this one jumped out at me. I saw it. I'll link to his Instagram profile in the description because he takes some great photos, makes some great cocktails, and he's worth checking out. So what we're going to do is start by measuring out 1 ounce, 30 ml of your preferred rye whiskey. I'm using Gospel Rye, which is an Australian rye whiskey. 1 ounce, 30 ml. And then a dry sherry. So you can use a Fino, an Amontillado, a Oloroso sherry. They vary in different ways. So a Fino sherry is aged under floor, meaning that it has a layer of yeast on top, which gives it like that kind of nutty character. And Amontillado sherry is a Fino sherry that's been aged under floor. It's got the yeast on top, and then it's fortified. So therefore it kills off the yeast and then it's aged for longer. And because it's aged longer, typically it has more of those like dried fruit kind of characters as well as that nuttiness. And then you have an Oloroso sherry, which has more intense flavors. It's not aged under floor, but it's aged in a barrel at a higher ABV. Typically, I cover a lot of these details in my cocktail book, Steve the Bartender's Cocktail Guide, so you can check that out. It'll be linked around. Dry sherry of your choice. Adam chose to use an Oloroso. I'm using an Australian sherry, the equivalent of an Amontillado. 1 ounce, 30 ml of dry sherry. Then the sweet component, demerara syrup, half an ounce, 15 ml. Then we have coffee bitters. Now, of course, if you don't like me, you don't like the channel, you don't like my videos, you don't want to support the channel, you don't have to get a bottle of my coffee bitters. You can omit this completely. You can use chocolate bitters, you can use something else. 2 dashes of coffee bitters. This coffee bitters actually has a fairly short list of ingredients. So it's made with whole coffee beans, vanilla, nutmeg, and then it's sweetened just a touch with cane sugar. I know there's some people thinking like, I should have done the egg first just in case it's a bad egg and it contaminates the drink, but I tend to do things in a particular order and I just can't change it. Double strain into a Nicanora glass. Typically a flip is garnished with grated nutmeg on top, but we're using dark chocolate. I'm assuming Adam chose this because dark chocolate, whiskey, demerara, coffee, all just kind of goes hand in hand. And a single coffee bean on top. Cheers. That's beautiful. Such a good drink. I love flips. They're versatile. You can use different base spirits. If you like nogs, you'll absolutely love this. creamy, chocolatey coffee. You get that rich, dark chocolate on the nose. Dangerously easy to drink, as you can see. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Peace.